Big it up. Hearing my voice. Yeah. Go. Yeah. Go.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Casual Wrestling Community YouTube channel. You are now tuned into the Raw Takes Weekly Monday Night Raw Recap Show. I am your host, the Notorious Nerdy D, and I am joined tonight by the love of my life, Miss Level Up, Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast network, we have an amazing show for you tonight. Make sure to stop right now and hit the like button and leave us a comment on whatever platform you are consuming said content on. Lauren, Monday Night Raw this past week ended up being exactly what I feared Monday Night Raw was becoming. There is currently no main event storyline on Monday Night Raw. There is no story being portrayed on Monday Night Raw right now that is strong enough to carry the show that is already kind of lacking a quality roster that we're used to in WWE. And it looks to me right now, and this is what I feared. I feared this as I saw kind of the sea parting, as I saw Cody get injured. It looked to me, Raw is becoming a 3-hour commercial for SmackDown. It's a lot of recaps. It's a lot of telling what's coming, a lot of teases. The Usos are a main feature, but they don't main event Raw. We just kind of build up to what we're going to get on Friday, right? We open the show. We literally opened the show with The Miz and Paul Heyman. And unless something changes, now I'm not going to overreact, I'm not going to jump to conclusions, things can always change, but right now, it feels to me like the beginnings, this is the beginnings of what happened last year when I went on a Raw detox. And I just kind of said, you know what? I'll read about it. Because 3 hours is a long time to invest into a show. I mean, if you really look at that, if you look at that Monday Night Raw, look at the entire thing as a television program, not a lot happened. I mean, especially not a lot that there was to care about. In fact, for the first time in a long time, it felt like to me, there were a series of matches on Monday Night Raw that had absolutely no business being on TV. They were matches that were fit for main event, fit for secondary wrestling television. They're AEW dark type matches, and they're being pushed to us on WWE mainstream. What I call mainstream programming is your 3 hours on Monday Night Raw and your 2 hours on SmackDown. There's 5 hours of prime WWE content that we get. And like, these are some MVP versus Cedric Alexander. This is a match that we're putting on Monday Night Raw. We're taking prime wrestling real estate and we're putting this on TV. First off, we're treating Cedric Alexander like he's fucking nobody. We're using him as a stepping stone to what? Get MVP over? Why does MVP need to be over? I get we're trying to put Omos over. I understand what we're trying to do, Omos, even though it's not working. Nobody likes Omos. I've never, still to this day, I've never met somebody who goes like, Omos is exciting. The people we watch wrestling with, they don't go, oh, he's amazing. He, like, even the like giant thing has kind of fucking worn its welcome. Because he just doesn't move around. He doesn't sell. And having him lose to Bobby Lashley in a 2-on-1 match just really made me go, oh, like, we're not supposed to care about Omos. Now we do a 360 and we put him in the ring with Cedric Alexander, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to fucking give a shit that he went from trying to beat up a guy who is like 6'3", pure muscle, to a guy who looks like he's 5'9", right? That stuff doesn't make sense. Why is this on Monday Night Raw? Why is that not on main event? Why are we watching? And I love Chad Gable, but the fall of Chad Gable has been ridiculous. I was even okay when he was like Kevin Owens' crony, but now we're just getting a random match of Chad Gable and Mustafa with no context. These are good wrestlers. These are two guys that in the ring can wrestle their asses off. Why can't we connect some kind of story to this? Why can't we give purpose to this match. Ali comes off of the theory thing, and with no explanation, you're throwing him in the ring with Chad Gable. Now, hopefully, it builds to something, but like, let's do something to build to something. If we just throw them in the ring, especially late into the 3-hour Monday Night Raw, it fucking killed all the momentum, or what little momentum there was in that show was just completely derailed by that match. I'm looking, I don't understand. And then I get to Veer Mahaan. Veer Mahaan and Rey Mysterio. Like, when Veer Mahaan first showed up, what was it, 4 or 5 weeks ago? It was exciting. It was this big guy that I had not seen come out, and he destroys Rey Mysterio. Here we are 6 weeks later, and I have no fucking idea. Why is he picking on Rey and Dominic? Like, there's no story context to this. It's just week after week, a different configuration of Veer Mahaan, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio. No storyline. Nothing makes sense. They had Veer Mahaan talk one time. We just ended up fucking laughing because we didn't know he sounded like that.
Yeah.
But like, 6 weeks is too long to not start getting some kind of, like, what is Veer's problem with the Mysterios? What is the problem? And let me know, and I'll buy into it, even if it's a dumb problem. But it just, like, right now, there's just a lot. These matches that they're being thrown on the Monday Night Raw week after week after week. We're seeing Omos with no build. We're seeing Mustafa Ali, no context. We're seeing Veer Mahaan. I mean, he went from, like, 5 weeks ago, he was squashing these guys, and now we're supposed to believe that he's having these great matches with them. And also, the Mysterios get away with more fucking cheating for being baby faces than anybody I've ever seen in professional wrestling. It doesn't really make sense to me how these guys continue to get booked as baby faces when they're really, up until this point, the only thing that Veer Mahaan has done that is very, like, heelish is just like post-match beatdown, right? Like, not letting go when the referee says it's time to let go. But when you look at it, it really looks like, to me, like Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, they're the ones fucking cheating all the time. They're the ones getting involved in each other's match.
He's protecting baby boy.
Like, where is it headed? Where is Veer Mahaan and the Mysterios headed? Because after like 6 weeks of seeing this, there's zero context and like zero reason to believe that anything's building up from this. So with that in mind, there were a few matches on Monday Night Raw that were actually worth the shit and worth paying attention to. But in 3 hours, when I can whittle 3 hours of wrestling down to 3 good matches, 1 an hour maybe, that's not good. That's not a good look for Monday Night Raw. Jimmy Uso and Montez Ford, that was a good match. Nothing wrong with that. The Usos work a main event pacing too early in the show is my only problem with the Usos. It's very slow, very methodical, very good bad guy work. Nothing wrong with it. But that early in the show, when you're trying to build energy, it's hard to get behind. Almost, they're using the Usos in almost a pay-per-view style match every week, right? They give them quality time to wrestle. And this is the argument that the IWC kind of makes against WWE. So they may love it. I don't love 10 to 15 minute television matches. Like, I don't need 3 commercial breaks in my match. That's too much wrestling on a Monday night. These are supposed to go boom, boom, boom. We're supposed to get story. We're supposed to get action. These are all just commercials for the next premium live event. But with saying all that, Jimmy Uso and Montez Ford, every time they get in the ring, it's a hell of a match. It was fun to watch. But it's, once again, it feels like it's a commercial for SmackDown, right? The Usos are SmackDown. Now, I know they're pulling double duty, but like, we've established at this point that the Bloodline lives on SmackDown. That is the home of the Bloodline. They may come visit Monday Night Raw, even though Roman Reigns basically will not. But the Usos live on SmackDown. And so that match is essentially kind of a commercial for Friday Night SmackDown because there's no heavy implication for the Usos. Like, I know from watching wrestling long enough, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, those aren't the guys. Those aren't the guys that are going to take the titles off of the Usos. Not yet. It's not time yet. Especially with the way they're building it. It's just not time. We're just filler. We're just filling. So what are we going to get? We're going to get a tag team match at Money in the Bank. And then what are we doing at SummerSlam with them? I don't know. Another good match, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. that was one I was paying attention to. That was fun. Seth Rollins is the saving grace. It was Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, but now all of that weight has been shifted to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the fucking guy on Monday Night Raw, and why is he not the last thing we see every fucking week? I don't get it. Why are we sticking these guys in the middle of the show? And maybe it's that I don't understand how television works, right? Maybe Monday Night Raw being 3 hours, maybe that third hour isn't as important, because it always seemed like Cody Rhodes came on right at the end of hour 2. And maybe that's prime television time. I don't understand enough, but I do know that like I leave with whatever the last thing I see is. That's what I leave Monday Night Raw thinking and remembering. And it should be Seth Rollins every week, or Kevin Owens, one of the two. Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens, that's who we should see at the end of the night. I mean, Kevin Owens, once again, another good match. He's just entertaining. He's just more entertaining than everybody else. It doesn't matter what Kevin Owens is doing. Him and Seth Rollins, they both can, whenever they're in the ring, they can make you laugh. They can make you feel something. So those two guys, that should be Monday Night Raw. The entire Monday Night Raw, build it around those two people. And if you want to build it around some other people, go ahead and look at Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan, because together as a team, that was fun to watch. They made Doudrop and Nikki Ash bearable to watch as a tag team, because that tag team doesn't fucking make sense. But once again, what happened to this tag team tournament? Because really, what is the purpose of women's tag team wrestling at this point if there is no women's tag? They've just like taken those belts and put them in a closet. There's no mention of bringing those belts out and having anybody fight for those belts. We were going to have this epic tournament where we were going to bring in NXT teams. We were going to, Ronda Rousey, Raquel Rodriguez. We were going to start putting these dream teams together. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, we just won't do any of that. We won't have that anymore. And that, to me, seems like a huge wasted opportunity, because I said early on, put the belts on Alexa Bliss. I had originally said Alexa Bliss and Shotzi, but this made even more fucking sense. Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan look like a team. They already look like a team. So why not make them a team? Why not put those belts on them? Why not any female superstar who's not in a current title situation should have a tag team partner and give them something to do? And make a tournament out of it and make it a big deal. WWE has to make these things a big deal, especially when right now there's not a lot of title activity in WWE. Roman's got 2 belts that he's basically just taken home. He took the 2 belts home. He's sitting at home. He's going to show up one SmackDown a fucking month to defend the belt in a random match that we know he's not going to lose. It just, some of that stuff doesn't make sense to me, that there's not enough activity. You've got 2 belts that you could be using very well on Monday Night Raw, and you're not doing that. The only other thing that was really worth watching and paying attention to was the opening promo with Riddle and Paul Heyman and The Miz. But that was a fucking SmackDown commercial. That's all that was. That was a commercial with Paul Heyman and Riddle telling you why you need to tune in this Friday to watch the title match. That's it. That's what that was. That is a fucking weird way to open Monday Night Raw. Hey guys, we know you paid to come here tonight to see wrestling, but we're going to tell you about what's happening Friday somewhere else. I don't like it. I don't like a cold opening that is a commercial for another show, especially when there's supposed to be like either there is or isn't brand separation. And right now, this weird, like, fucking gelatinous roster that we have where certain guys can cross over, but certain guys don't, it's making it messy. It's making it very messy. It's making it messy that why can't Roman Reigns just show up? Or why take the fucking belts off? I mean, I'm getting to the point. I didn't think I was going to get here, but I'm getting to the point where I'm almost done with Roman Reigns, because it's the old Brock Lesnar situation. At a certain point, you're impeding the progress of the entertainment. And I don't like that. I felt like there were a couple missed opportunities as well on Monday Night Raw. I feel like with Bianca Belair, they don't like what is happening in this whole story with the Judgment Day and Bianca Belair. Bianca's fine. And Bianca's at her best when she's wrestling and when she's kind of talking her shit and getting going. So you send Bianca out there and she cuts a promo where she's she's doing what Bianca does. Super positive, right? So she's trying to build up Rhea Ripley, which I don't love, but that's Bianca's character, and I'm fine with it, right? She's positive. She's a role model. The kids love her. People love her. I'm okay. That's who she is. But we build up Rhea Ripley, then all of a sudden Rhea Ripley shows up and you know, she's on the screen, big fucking face. But what's the Judgment Day's purpose? Like, I'm so fucking confused by the Judgment Day. So we get rid of Edge. We get rid of Edge and we take a faction that was trending upwards to the main event, and now they're a mid-card fucking faction. That's all they are. When you look at Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, almost call him Damian Sandow, Damian Priest, what? I mean, what? Okay, cool. We got 3 random superstars in a group, and their goal is to pick on Bianca Belair?
Yeah.
Like, that's... A couple weeks ago, Damian Sandow and Finn Balor were fighting over the United States Championship. You remember this? Pre-WrestleMania. Now they're buddies. They're not fighting for anything. They're just standing on the side of Rhea Ripley going, we'll pick on her. We're going to pick on her. Like, this group has no fucking direction.
Yeah.
And we keep hearing that Edge stepped away from this group because the WWE wanted to make them supernatural. Well, do some supernatural shit then.
Yeah.
Make the fucking lights go off. Shoot some fire out of your fucking hand. Do something, because right now, all I see is a bunch of fucking talk from the Judgment Day and a bunch of missed opportunities. Like, where's Finn Balor going? Where's Damian Priest going? It doesn't look like anywhere. There's nothing lined up for them to do except stand next to Rhea Ripley and try to pick on Bianca Belair. Is Edge going to show back up, or is Edge just gone for the time being? Which is just fucking weird. This Monday Night Raw was weird. It almost felt like just a hard stop in a lot of what's been going on. To have no Edge on TV this week, like, we're already fucking short all of our stars.
Yeah.
No Big E. We got no fucking Cody Rhodes. We're missing everybody. No Brock Lesnar, even though Brock Lesnar's being promoted on every fucking Monday Night Raw commercial.
Sasha's gone.
Well, she wasn't really Monday, but I agree with you, right? Sasha's not there to pick that roster up. We're not bringing Roman Reigns up. Randy Orton's gone. So we've got all of these main stars that people are paying to come see. They're not there. And so to not have Edge on TV makes absolutely no sense. What are you selling? You're selling that he got beat up? He got beat up a little bit? I mean, it was 3 or 4 months ago, him and Seth Rollins were fucking trying to take each other's heads off.
Yeah.
And now what? Damian Priest and Finn Balor took out Edge for this long? Nah, come on, man. I'm just not buying it. I don't understand what we're doing. And especially as we are turning the corner coming around to SummerSlam, it really starting to feel like WWE doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. And last but not least, another missed opportunity on Monday Night Raw is Becky Lynch. Why is she not the 24/7 champion? Like, if we're going to talk about fucking Bianca in this weird situation with the Judgment Day, there's no men's title that means shit, and we'll get to that in a minute with Austin Theory, whatever the fuck his name is. But there's no title on Monday Night Raw right now. What a prime time to have Becky Lynch win the 24/7 championship, put that son of a bitch on her shoulder, and come out week in and week out and be like, this is the belt that matters, and start having big 24/7 matches. Convince the audience, convince the crowd that belt matters. Why not? At worst, it's going to be extremely funny. Have fucking Becky Lynch and Asuka fight over the 24/7 belt. Throw Dana Brooke in there. Throw R-Truth in there. Get all these personalities, but the better people you have chasing the 24/7 championship, the more it could feel like a legitimate thing. But I still believe Becky Lynch holding the 24/7 championship under this delusional state of mind that she makes that belt as good as the women's championship. Just standing in that ring saying, I'm the fucking champ. I'm still the champ. I hold the belt. While everybody else is not doing anything, I'll be a company person and continue to defend this belt. It's TV gold. And it just feels like, I don't know what's happening in WWE. We know there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes right now, but it just feels like missed opportunity after missed opportunity in Monday Night Raw. And then that leads me to just the plain stupid shit that happened on Monday Night Raw this past week. And I don't think I even have to say it. I think every person in the world knows that the Bobby Lashley and Theory pose off was possibly the worst segment I've ever seen in professional wrestling, and they ended the show with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just on Monday Night Raw. They thought, this is what we want to send the viewers home with. This is the visual. This shit didn't even end in a fight. Like, I think he might have bumped him and he fell out of the ring and walked off, but this didn't end in a, this was not like, this was terrible. This was horrible. This was absolute garbage. And when you have Seth Rollins and you have Kevin Owens and you have Ezekiel and you have these people and you can tell these stories, you choose to go with that. Austin Theory, whatever you want to call him, he's not carrying Monday Night Raw. And I said a couple weeks ago, I was a big advocate for let's get Austin Theory in some good wrestling matches to main event Monday Night Raw. I'm all for that. That's not a wrestling match. Who was that for, Lauren?
I honestly have
The
no
dudes
idea.
weren't enjoying that. Like the
I didn't
male
enjoy
audience
it.
was not enjoying that. It didn't look like the females that were watching it with me were enjoying it. I know kids weren't fucking enjoying. What, who was that for? If I bought tickets to that Monday Night Raw and you tell me that the last thing I'm going to see that's on television is Bobby Lashley and Theory in baby oil posing, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You're lying. That's some shit that goes on in the first hour. That's not main event. You don't main event. Who benefited from that? Theory? I don't think so. He came off as a giant douchebag.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley? No. I mean,
Soft.
no. I feel like he's just put in a weird position. I guess at the end of this, wherever this ends up going, Theory, I'm assuming, comes out of this with a victory, because why would you destroy all of this momentum he had moving forward? So, and Bobby Lashley can afford to lose. I've said it a million times. He just has this appearance that makes him look like a winner and a big deal. But if Theory comes out of this with a win, it actually does give him, I guess, some momentum moving forward. But like, is it a necessity to book Theory as a douchebag? Because I think his character could be more than that. I think if you booked him as just a super athlete who then was arrogant, but he's walked past arrogance and he has come to the island of douchebaggery.
Yeah.
His character's annoying. It's not even fun to watch. And it's not annoying in the way of like, oh, that's good TV. It's annoying in like the way of like, go away heat. Like, just go away. I don't want to see Theory at that point in time. Not at the end of the show. Put him somewhere early. The Pat McAfee stuff was fucking gold. They nailed it. It was great. And now we're here. Now, I'd rather them continue Theory McAfee again and put that in the main event, because McAfee can entertain. But fucking, what are we doing, guys? Baby oil. Pose off. Did anybody enjoy Bobby Lashley and Theory in a pose off segment to end Monday Night Raw? Did anybody? I don't think so. I don't think they did. All right. So if I had to pick match of the night, I think that I'd give that to Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. I thought that was a hell of a wrestling match. I think that is the one thing that we can look at Monday Night Raw and we can go, out of 3 hours, if I got to pick something, that was the best thing on television. It's unfortunately, AJ Styles won't be in Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins will. He will probably be my pick to win Money in the Bank, because I do think, it is my true belief that we have to get these belts off of Roman Reigns if he's not going to show up. But what is he doing? Like, what the fuck is he doing, really?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Because if you're going to Hollywood, I got it, right? There's money, there's fame, there's fortune, there's all that stuff. Like, go to Hollywood, go do your thing. But like, to be in the prime of your career, you were just 3 months ago, you were the biggest thing in wrestling, and you've decided to just disappear, but not fully disappear. You're going to take the belts and do what Brock Lesnar did and just kind of show up when you want to. It doesn't make sense. All right, so my power rankings for this week. My power rankings, I've decided they're not based on power rankings, because how do you power rank this shit? But my power rankings are more based on, this is what I'm most excited for on Monday Night Raw. This is what I'm most excited to see moving forward, and to kind of explain, or not explain, but just to kind of like, this kind of gives you a thought into my head of what I'm looking at on Monday Night Raw and what I want to see moving forward. Make sure you guys tell me what you guys are looking forward to on next week's Monday Night Raw in the comments. But the thing I'm most excited about on Monday Night Raw right now is Riddle. Riddle's over, man. They need to lay into this Riddle situation. He's over. And I know right now it's like we took the most over guy on Monday Night Raw and we go, hey, let's fucking throw him on SmackDown as well. I'm hoping he loses to Roman Reigns. And because I don't want to see him on SmackDown anymore. That's the only reason. Because they put that stipulation in that if Riddle loses to Roman, he's done with SmackDown. I don't want to see him on SmackDown. Put him on Monday Night Raw, but give him a reason to be on Monday Night Raw. God damn, we need a title on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
We need a legitimate title on Monday Night Raw. We cannot, like, the United States fucking, they took a title that was already buried, and they took a jackhammer and went through another layer of like the Earth's crust to bury it even deeper with the pose off. Secondly, I'm excited for Seth Rollins. I do believe Seth Rollins, he's the guy that can carry Monday Night Raw, but you got to give him the ball. You have to give him the ball to carry it. Also, I'm excited for the Usos at number 3. Even though the problem is if you're making a list of Monday Night Raw and the Usos are number 3, and they're a SmackDown team, it doesn't make a lot of sense. After that, I got 4 and 5. I got Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. That's still the best. Like, okay, so we didn't talk about this, and we have to talk about the Elias concert next week.
Yeah.
What's going to happen there? Like, what is the build? So I read some bullshit dirt sheet thing that said like they're just going to put a fake beard on Ezekiel. Could be funny. It could work. They talked about they could possibly use some old footage of Elias and just kind of replay it to make it look like Ezekiel was talking to Elias. Yeah. That could work, but come on, man. Write a check to Damian Sandow. Bring him back. He was great as Mizdow. He was great as the intellectual savior of the masses. And this is a performance that he would just destroy. He would kill it. It would be great. And seeing Kevin Owens and Damian Sandow in a ring, and Kevin Owens telling him, you're not Elias, and him looking back at him and going, no, I am Elias, would fucking, that makes Monday Night Raw. I would watch just for that. Just for that. Number 6 is Bianca Belair. I'm still excited for Bianca Belair. I still want this title reign to be successful, but the more I watch, the more I go, is Bianca one of those people who's better off chasing the gold than having the gold? Right?
Yeah.
Because when she's chasing the gold, it always kind of feels triumphant for her. She's very positive. When she has the gold, it almost feels like who is going to be that nemesis if it's not Becky? It could be Rhea, but why are the Judgment Day standing next to her? I don't get it. Just give me Rhea and Bianca, and I'll be fine with that. I don't need Damian Priest and Finn Balor getting involved in that. 7's Becky Lynch. Put the 24/7 title on her. I fucking said it. Let's do it. Stop teasing. I still hope that is the plan. Like, they keep teasing it week in and week out. I still hope the plan is to put the 24/7 title on her. Number 8, Alexa Bliss. She's still, look, the momentum's with her. She's in Money in the Bank. As long as you're in the match, there's a chance you could win it.
True.
And I wouldn't be mad if she's the one that walks away. What I don't want from Money in the Bank is I don't want Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch both winning. I don't like that combination. I feel like at least one of the two people who win Money in the Bank need to be people who are trying to be elevated up the ladder and not people who are high established. Like, Seth Rollins is established. He doesn't need Money in the Bank, but if it fixes the storyline with Roman Reigns and things like that, I'm okay with it. But then let's not give it to Becky Lynch on the other side. Let's give it to Liv Morgan. Let's give it to someone new where it would be surprising and exciting if they cash in that briefcase. It's not exciting if Becky Lynch cashes in. Yeah. I guess the excitement is that what if Becky cashes in on Ronda? But it's not exciting if Becky cashes in on Bianca. It's just like more of the same shit. At number 9, I got the Judgment Day, and number 10, AJ Styles. Those are things I'm excited for. That's basically what I'm excited for on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, man, it gets better. But I don't know what, like, I don't know the path for it to get better. No Cody. It's apparent now more than ever how much they had put on Cody Rhodes' shoulders. And that's not to say Seth Rollins as well. Those two were carrying the show, and then Kevin Owens was right behind them, picking up the rear. But
Yeah.
when you lose Cody, they're going to have to scramble to get some things that make sense to watch on a weekly basis, because right now Monday Night Raw is a fucking mess. It still is, man. Make sure to tune in this Saturday for Casual Smack. It'll be posting on Saturdays from now on instead of Sundays. Try and do it one day after SmackDown instead of 2, because then it feels like it runs right into Monday Night Raw. Check out the Casual Wrestling Community YouTube page and look at all the content we got on there. Got a couple different things. Got a couple new things in the works. Got a couple new people in the works. Should be some stuff coming up. We'll try and put out a lot more content the next couple weeks. But this has been another episode of the Raw Take Show. As always, I am the notorious Nerdy D. That is Level Up Lauren, and you can ring the final bell.
Ba-ding, ding, 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 ding.
Step in the ring.